Here, let us see the second question. The second question, what was the second question? Who were the right people to listen to? So the second question was, who were the right people, the right ones to give advice for the king, and to whom the king should listen, to which people the king should listen. So on this question, the reply given by the wise men were like this. Some said that the counselors were the most important people. So some of the wise men said that the counselors. Now, who are the counselors? Counselors are the members of the council. It was said by the wise men that the counselors were the right people whom the king should follow, whom the king should listen to. Whereas the other wise men said the priests in the society were the right people whom the king should listen to. Then there were some others who said it is not the priest and not the counselors, but they were the doctors whom he has to listen, right? The doctors. While some said the warriors, but there were some others who said that the warriors were the right people whom the king should listen to. So these were the opinions. So here also you can see the opinions were different. In this situation, that is for the second question also, whom to listen, whom the king should listen for, who were the right people whom the king should listen. So to this also they had different answers. So some said it was the counselors, whereas others said priests, and some others said doctors, and there were still some others who said they were the warriors. So you see how many different answers we have got for this question? 4 different answers, right? 4 different answers we have got for this question too. For the first question we got 3 different opinions, right? And now for the second question we got 4 different answers to the question. Now let us move to the third question. Let us see what was their opinion regarding the third question. To the third question, what was the most important occupation? Some replied that the most important thing in the world was science. Others said it was skill in warfare, and others again that it was religious worship. So this was the answer given for the third question. What was the third question? What was the most important thing to do? What was the most important thing to do in life? So for this, there were some wise people who said that the important thing in the world was science. Science was the most important thing in the world. This was the thing what was told by some of the wise people, right? Whereas there were some who said that it is not science, it is warfare. So this was their opinion. So a different opinion you got. A second opinion. First opinion was science. Science was the most important occupation. Some others said it was not science, but it was warfare, the most important occupation. Warfare in the sense, the action of fighting a war, right? So fighting a war. So a warrior, most probably it can be, right? So that was the occupation which was much more better than any other occupation. This is what some said. Right? So this is the second opinion. And others again that it was religious worship. So it is connected to the priest, religious worship. So this is what was the third opinion over here. Again here we are getting 3 opinions. First one was science, second warfare, and the third was religious worship. So like this, here also we have got 3 different opinions for the question, what was the most important thing to do? So we have seen already in the previous replies of the first question or the second question. First question we saw 3 different opinions. For the first question, what was right time to begin something? We saw 3 different opinions from the wise men. Then for the second question, who were the right people to listen to? We have seen the counselors, the priests, the doctors and warriors. So 4 different answers given to the second question. And to the third question, what was the most important thing to do? The most important occupation. So for this we have seen three replies given by the wise men, that is science, warfare and religious worship. So according to some it was science, whereas the others said warfare, and still there were others who said that it was religious worship. So for every question we have seen different replies. Now do you think the king got a solution for his questions, for his problems? Do you think that the king is clear up with the questions whatever he had raised up? Is he satisfied with the question and with the answers to the question? No, not at all. Let us see now what is going to happen in the lesson. All the answers were so different that the king could agree with none of them and gave the reward to none. But he still wished to find the right answers to his questions. He decided to consult a hermit widely renowned for his wisdom. So here the king was totally confused over here with different responses. He didn't agree. All the answers were so different. The answers were totally different from each other. We have seen all the answers were totally different from each other. And he could not agree. The king also couldn't agree to these answers, to none of the answers. He was not in a position to agree with any of the answers given by the wise men. And so there is no point of giving the reward. So what was the promise made by the king? If he was satisfied with the answers to the questions, then he will reward the person whoever gives the answer, right? So here the king was not at all satisfied with any of the answers. So there was no question of reward at all. But he still wished to find the right answer. But still the king did not give up over here. That is what you can see. But he still wished to find the right answers to his question. Still the king kept in his mind that he will find the right answers to his question. So what did the king decide? He decided to consult a hermit. So the king planned to meet a hermit. Now who is a hermit? A religious person, you can say, for religious reasons, who just sacrifices the worldly pleasure, you can say, and just live in the forest, go away from the normal life, stay away. A sage, right? And lead a very simple life. Simple life in the sense no other other facilities like how normal people enjoy, right? So away from all sorts of comforts in life, the one who stays away from all sorts of comforts from life, so is the sage, right? So the king planned to meet a hermit to get the answers to his questions. Widely renowned for his wisdom. So it's not just a normal hermit as such, but a very famous hermit. He planned to meet a very famous hermit who was very known for his wisdom, right? Who was very famous for his wisdom, right? So the king planned to go to meet this hermit. The hermit lived in a forest which he never left, and he welcomed only common folk. So before reaching the hermit's cottage, the king put on simple clothes, got off his horse, and leaving his bodyguard behind, went on alone. So you see, the hermit, where was the hermit living? The hermit was living in the forest. I told you, the one who sacrifices his worldly pleasures, like how we enjoy, isn't it? We have a good house, we have a bed, we have everything, every facility in our house wherein we can live a very comfortable life. So sacrificing all these things, the people who go and stay for religious purpose, such a person is called a sage, right? A hermit. So this hermit was also like that, living in a forest, sacrificing all worldly pleasures. He was living all alone in the forest. Fine. So he was living over there, and he never met any outstanding people from the society. You can see that is the thing mentioned over here. He never, which he never left, the forest he never left. He always stayed in the forest and he welcomed only common folk. So he had communication, or he had context with only common people, not with the outstanding people from the society like the king or the ministers and so on, right? So he had connections, he had only contacts with the common people, just with the common people. So before reaching the hermit's cottage, the king put on simple clothes, got off his horse. The king also knew about this, that the hermit never met any king or ministers or counselors from the palace or from the king's court, right? So knowing this, what did the king do after reaching to the forest? In order to reach to the hermit's cottage, the king had worn simple clothes. King dressed himself in simple attire, right? He wore simple clothes, got off his horse. He got down from the horse. He went walking towards the cottage, and leaving his bodyguard behind, went on alone. So he left his bodyguard behind. He left his bodyguard behind. He didn't carry his bodyguard along with him. So if he carries his bodyguard, it will be known to the hermit. Hermit will very well recognize that he is a king. So he left his bodyguard behind and he went all alone towards the cottage of the hermit to meet the hermit. So when the king reached to the hermit, what was the hermit doing? Let us see in the next paragraph. The hermit was digging the ground in front of his hut. So what was he doing? He was digging the ground. He was digging the ground in front of his hut. In front of whose hut? In front of the hermit's hut. He was digging the ground in front of his own hut. Seeing the king, he greeted him and went on digging. The hermit was frail. Each time he stuck his spade into the ground and turned a little earth, he breathed heavily. Seeing the king, what did he do? He greeted him.